Hello, all of my beautiful Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign friends. My name is LaChan with Power Life Hypnosis. And this is your November 2017 general/love reading. I did these readings because I know that a lot of people are going through some very difficult times right now. So I did a reading already in October for November, but I thought I'd go ahead and come back and do another in-depth look. So it's not really a mid-month reading, but it is a reading for November, a more in-depth look. If you'd like to book a reading with me, please visit my website at powerlifehypnosis.com. These are general readings, so the messages may not resonate. If they do not resonate, please check your moon and rising sign videos. Okay, so I decided to do something a little different this time. One thing that I did was I created a Dowsing chart to ask what is going on here with the themes. So I see that many of you Aries during the month of November will be going through some positive new changes, some new beginnings. You may be moving forward from a toxic relationship. You're going through some karmic lessons here. Things are going to be taken a turn for the better. You may be placing your focus elsewhere. You're going through some karmic lessons at this time. So there are things that you needed to learn, things that you needed to experience. That's what I have for you for that. So what I did this time is I took 9 Lenormand cards and I clarified them with my Sibylla Oracle deck. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to start here with what's going on in your home environment or in your environment. So from the Sibylla, I can see here, because I have here the King of Clubs, which is the Doctor card, in the reverse. And this is saying for many of you Aries, I can clearly see here, and we've established that a lot of you have been dealing with someone who is narcissistic. So this Doctor card in the reverse, it stands for a man, likely a man, but these are general readings, so it can be a woman too. But this is going to be someone who secretly lives a double life, someone who is a prey to their vices. This is someone who cons others. This is someone who pretends to be a friend but really has your demise in their head. This is someone who wants to steer someone else down the wrong path and steer them away from their life purpose. Someone who feels as though from their childhood or from the past that they may be damaged goods, or that they may not be good for anything. This is an abusive partner, someone who betrays, someone who cheats. This is someone who attempts to isolate others from their friends and family. This is someone who doesn't have the ability or doesn't have the desire, or however it is, but they're not moving on from a serious character flaw of theirs or something that they're hiding. They're not addressing it. Instead, they choose to run away from it because they don't want to improve themselves. They don't want to empower themselves. This is someone who turns out to be completely different than the person who you thought you knew or the person who you thought you met. So this can be a lover, this can be a friend, this can be anyone in your life, but this is someone within your close circle. So I see here that from the Lenormand, I have the Mask. I'm using my expanded gilded rubbery deck, which has some additional cards that are not found in the traditional Lenormand, such as the Mask. And the Mask has been coming out for every single reading, which is so interesting because a Mask is the narcissism card. This is somebody who pretends to be one way, pretends to be someone who they actually are not. So I see here that there's this person in your environment that can be creating problems and worries, that can be creating problems and stress or something like that. For some of you, for many of you, you may feel as though the burdens from this person are diminishing or reducing. Because I have the Mask, the Cross, and the Mice here. And the Cross is going to stand for burdens. The Mice is going to stand for either burdens that are causing you worries, or they are reducing, they are minimizing, they are diminishing. So this would be because you're moving forward and making new changes. I have great constellation up here on the top representing you for the Sibylla clarifier. And this says that you may be feeling as though you see a light at the end of the tunnel. You may be feeling as though things are going to get better. I'm feeling as though this person in this card is thinking about what it is that they really want for their future, what it is that they deserve, what it is that they really want. They may be pondering that and thinking about that. That may be on their mind. So this may be a theme during the month of November. These things may be on your mind. What it is that you truly deserve, what it is that you want. Or it could just be feeling that things are getting better. Again, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You see success for you in the future in this situation. So, regarding how you fit into this situation, I see that many of you may be moving on from a challenging key relationship. You may be moving forward after some difficulties, some obstacles, some challenges that were karmic. So there's some karmic lessons that needed to be learned. I have here again the ship, the mountain, and the key representing you. So the ship card says that you may be moving on. You're moving forward. You're separating. You're leaving behind this challenging situation, this difficult situation. You could be leaving behind this person who is cold, who is unemotional, who there is a karmic tie here, a karmic situation. However, you feel as though you have a solution. You have the way out. Because this key card stands for unlocking. It can also be the key to unlock whatever difficulty you're experiencing. So you're moving on and you see a way out. It may be challenging to move on at this time, but regardless, you feel as though you found a solution to your situation. You found the key to unlock the door to the solution. You are opening up these opportunities here. You have a new outlook on the situation. You may be thinking about stability now, moving forward, as well as success in love. So, on the bottom here, I have the 8 of Diamonds, which is the housemaid in the reverse in the Sibylla deck. And this person, the other 2 cards I have up here represent men. This is the only card that represents women. So this can be for those men who are with narcissistic women, or this could just be the characteristics of this man. So this housemaid person is someone who likes to spread slander and likes to spread gossip. So be careful of that, because it is often that narcissists, when you leave them, they go on a smear campaign and they attempt to tarnish your name and they attempt to tarnish your reputation because it makes them feel better about themselves. So please be careful of that. This is someone who is a skilled liar. This is someone who has no concept of truth or loyalty, no spiritual values or moral code. This is someone who is vindictive, who is a liar and a cheater, who argues, who likes to argue. This is someone who you may do a lot of breaking up and making up with. This is also saying to pay attention to your feelings of self-worth. Because if you have a lack of worth, if you feel as though you're not deserving of a good relationship, that may be one of the reasons why you found yourself in this position. So, on the bottom of the deck here, on the bottom row, regarding the outcome of the situation, I have the Scythe, the Bouquet, and the Bear. So this can be saying different things. This can be saying that cutting this narcissist out of your life, separating from this person, separating from this situation, may make you feel empowered during the month of November. So you may be feeling empowered. Some of you are mothers. Some of you are mothers that are leaving behind this narcissist as well. Some of you could be cutting a narcissistic mother out of your life. These are all possibilities. But there is going to be some kind of cut here with this Scythe, Bouquet, and Bear combination. There's some kind of severing. There's some kind of cut. And it's either going to be to this narcissistic person, because you're cutting out this Bouquet card. So it's going to be cutting of this narcissistic person, their bullying ways, their overbearing ways, their domination over you, their power, their control over you. Or it could just be that cutting these elements out of your life bring you joy and bring you empowerment, a sense of empowerment during the month of November. So I do see here some really difficult situations here. So this can be with a family member, this can be with a romantic partner, this can be with anybody, but I do see some difficult situations going on here. However, it looks as though this situation was from the past. If you've been doing a lot of breaking up and making up, you may be cutting it off and severing the tie during the month of November, if it hasn't happened already. But you're going to be moving on from these challenges, from these difficulties. You have the solution, you have the way out, and you're thinking about bigger and better things. You're trying to figure out, how you go about getting what it is that you really deserve, or you're at least thinking about what it is that you really deserve in your love and romantic relationships. I'm sorry, or in any situation. I'm just so used to doing romance that I say love and romantic relationships, but I mean in any situation. So that is what I see here for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take out my side cards and see what I can get for you. Okay, I have for you the Warrior, the Body, the Scales. What's going on unconsciously? We have the Fortune and the Tree. What's going on top? What's conscious? We have the Birth and the Puzzle. So it looks like during the month of November, some of you may be fighting for yourself, fighting for your safety. Because I have this Warrior card, and I feel like this Warrior card is standing up for you. You are standing up for yourself. You're standing up for your physical body. You're standing up for your emotional body. You're standing up for this imbalance going on here. So you may be feeling a little imbalanced during the month of November. Let's see what I see here. So you may be feeling a little imbalanced, like your equilibrium is a little off. This could be physically in your physical body. This could be in your emotional body. But you want to fight for yourself and to bring balance into your life and to bring equality to your life, to get out of controlling situations, to have balance in your relationships, in your work environment, however this resonates with you. For many of you, it may be a good month to figure out the roots, the foundations behind why you end up in such situations or why you found yourself in this type of relationship. And this could be through doing some exploring of the subconscious mind. With this Fortune card, this person in this Fortune card is ascending the staircase into their mind, into their higher self. So seeking wisdom from your higher self about your emotional self, your emotional being. I'm seeing here, it's interesting. Usually I just see a cup. For the first time, I'm seeing some shackles. I'm seeing shackles in this card. So I'm feeling like there may have been some family control things going on. Like some control, maybe just grounded issues of control and victimization or control and abuse or something like that. There may be themes going on, and this may be deep rooted. It may be something that you're used to seeing or something that you're just used to. I'm feeling, because I never see shackles in this card, but I'm seeing them now. So you may be trying to figure out what is keeping you emotionally bound. For example, what's keeping you emotionally bound may be something that's deeply rooted, deeply seated. So it may be something that's not just on the surface. A lot of the time we say, for example, if you're in a relationship and you want to go find a new partner, you may say, okay, well, I'm never going to go do that again. I'm going to find a different partner. I'm going to do something different this time. And then you end up putting yourself in the same situation. You end up with the same partner, but with a different face. That's because the work hadn't been done, going down and digging, to see what's underneath and why you find yourself in these types of positions that didn't happen. So you could be figuring out what is keeping you bound, what is keeping you tied to these types of relationships and these types of situations. And it may be something that's, again, deeply rooted, deeply grounded there, something to go and explore. But you want to figure out the root cause of why. In order to move forward, this Fortune card is number 12. So you want to move forward. You want to make changes in order to move forward. Or it's the saying, in order to move forward, you do have to make these changes, which would include exploring your higher self, exploring your subconscious mind and why you enter in these types of relationships. I'm feeling some of you may be feeling stripped, and some of you may be feeling naked and off balance from the fighting as well. That's something I picked up. Some of you may be feeling off balance from this fighting, or from always having to stand up for yourself. Some of you are tired of standing up for yourself because you've been fighting and you've been fighting for balance, for equality. On the top of the deck here, on the top of the spread here, I have Birth and the Puzzle. So this is saying that many of you are going to be trying something different, On this puzzle card, there's 2 doors, and you can pick one door. So you can pick the door you've always gone down, or you can pick a different door. So you can choose what you've always done. You can choose, the path well worn, or you can choose the road less traveled by. And that will make all the difference. But you're figuring out how to do something new during the month of November. And then we have this birth card. So it looks like you're going to choose a different path. You're going to choose to do something differently, something new, begin something new. So that's wonderful. So for many of you with this tree card, I'm feeling like family may have something to do with in the past, and your roots may have something to do with why you put yourself in this type of relationship, or how you find yourself in these toxic relationships. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take the remaining cards from my side deck and my side cards, and see what story that these cards tell me. So I'm seeing here for many of you, Aries, you may, during the month of November, be putting in some work, putting in some effort to establish some boundaries here, to establish some type of boundaries, put up some walls of protection, or just to stand firm and be grounded and stand firm and sure in yourself against this father person. So I'm just telling you the cards. I have Word card, then the Tower, which is why I say this Tower in this card is standing very firm. He's standing very still. He's very steady, and he's very grounded. But you're working to protect yourself against someone, male. So this could either be against this person who we've been discussing, or this can be about childhood and father issues, for example, and ending those cycles. And I feel as though, because now I have the Death and the Wheel in front of me, and it seems as though this ending here could create some sadness, here. However, on the other side of this wheel, I have the stars. So there's an ending here, maybe an ending of a cycle that's going to bring some hope, some happiness. Dreams are coming true. Some of you may be moving, maybe leaving a home. And you're now cutting away this person who, looks like they use their skills in order to satisfy their libidos. And they could be, I see somebody who's here ruled by very, interesting. I'm seeing here somebody who's ruled by their lower impulses, their primal urges, their lower urges. There's somebody who's going to sing a tune, going to sing a song and tell you what you want to hear for money and to satisfy their urges. There's a snake in the grass here. And they're going to use these skills to get to people. But you've cut this off. Many of you are going to be taking a look at yourself, maybe parts of you that you're unaware of, not knowing who you are in certain ways, but taking a look at yourself and the wonderful parts of you, but taking an honest look in order to bring inner peace, in order to bring you inner peace and a way out of this prison of these relationships of control, breaking from bonds of abuse, of control. I see shackles again. So you may be learning about what's keeping these shackles on you during the month of November. I feel like some of you may feel as though you are still bound, you're still chained, but there is a way out. You're aware there's a sun. You haven't experienced it yet, but you're aware that there's a sun. But you've been in a prison of destructive relationships, destructive friendships, destructive connections with other people, toxic relationships, but you're freeing yourself of them during the month of November with this liberation card in front of me. You're taking off these shackles. I'm feeling like some of you are getting rid of your shackles that tie to your body and maybe your libido, because I feel like there's a snake in this card, but you are leaving behind, these toxic relationships, this beast. Some of you may be leaving behind addictions, I feel. I just heard that. Just are leaving behind addictions for some of you. But however this resonates, you're going to be leaving behind something difficult. Someone who's very, I'm feeling vindictive, a monster type of energy. You may send a message to someone saying that you're leaving, or you may write about how you're moving on. So it could be that you send a text or message to somebody saying that you're leaving, you're traveling, you're going elsewhere, or again, it could be that you are writing about your journey, or you're writing about moving on or moving forward. Some of you are mothers writing, you're writing about moving on in your life and with your family, or some of you could be leaving a situation and going to stay with your mother, stay with a mother figure, someone with motherly energy. I feel like many of you may be exploring your emotions or something like that to figure out how to not get put in these situations again, in these relationships with these liars, in these relationships with these manipulators. Because you want happiness. You want happy relationship, happy unions, happy connections. And you won't listen. You don't want to listen. I'm feeling like some of you don't want to listen to the tunes of manipulators anymore, or the tunes of, these Pied Pipers, these people just telling you something, to get what they want, which is money and sex. Or, they want something from you physically. Because I have this Fool card here, and this Fool card, he's playing a tune because he's bringing in money, the libido, and he's using his skills to do that. And now you're saying no. You have dreams and aspirations that you're going to go to. You want a new cycle. So all this is ending. I feel like some of you may be telling somebody to leave. Or if not, you could be going yourself and separating so you can go and do this work, so you can go and work on yourself. So that's what I see here from my side cards. So right now I'm feeling drawn to use my pendulum to ask what you can do during the month of November in order to make these changes that you're trying to make, in order to move forward, in order to change your life. So I'm going to go ahead and ask my guides here, in which ways can you change your life during the month of November? So let's see what I get. I'm seeing here working on goals, patience and persistence, expanding the heart's desires, clearing away birth traumas, deliberate thought, positive self-image, discipline, positive thoughts, letting go of the past, taking the first conscious step. So that is what I have for you from my guides on how to change your life during the month of November, Aries. So I'm going to try to find out here actually why it is. So let's see what I get. Seeing some of you have been experiencing some anxiety or some depression, maybe some issues with self-image, as well as honesty with yourself, self-esteem and worth, issues of self-esteem and worth for many of you, as well as some boundary issues. I'm seeing some very strong boundary issues here. So standing up for yourself, standing up for what it is that you deserve in a relationship, what it is that you require, what your needs are. If you don't want to be left every so often by your partner, you deserve to have that respected, and you should have that boundary. If you don't want to be talked to any kind of way, if you don't want to be abused, if you don't want to be spoken down to, if you don't want to be criticized, if you don't want to be condemned, if you don't want backhanded comments. For example, someone may say something really good about you, saying like, oh, you sing so well. Oh, but I only heard a few sour notes in there. It's like you don't deserve those types of things. So if you want your partner to stay with you, then you should say that. If you want your partner to respect you and to talk to you a certain way, or to treat you a certain way, you deserve that, and you deserve to be treated that way. So boundary issues is one to work on, and all the rest of them that were mentioned. So these are places where you can start, things that you can start looking at, going within and looking into. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is pull a card from my self-love deck. Let's see what we get. So the two cards that I have here for you are Heal and Dance. So this card Heal reads, some wounds need to be acknowledged before they can be completely healed. Allow yourself the time, space, and processes necessary to find your wholeness again. Self-love involves knowing ourselves deeply and taking responsibility for what we can teach and do for ourselves right here and right now. Healing requires acknowledgement of the wounds and unhealthy patterns we may grapple with, such as downplaying our own needs, running away from conflict. This is exactly what I was mentioning. Downplaying our own needs, which is very important. Running away from conflict, accepting lies and abuse, feeling unworthy, and relying on other people's approval and authority. One thing that I must say to you is you don't need anybody to make you feel attractive or special or wonderful, because you already are. You don't need someone else to make you feel that way. Just know that you already are. We can choose to heal and empower ourselves by releasing these patterns and embracing newer, healthier habits. Every single one of us has received some emotional trauma in this life. When we were growing up, we were subject to the care and authority of our elders, some of whom, in spite of their best intentions, were also suffering in some way. Their words and actions may not have given us the proper support and guidance that we needed, and it may have left us with models of behavior that have not worked well for us. This is something that all of us would have experienced to varying degrees, and which some of us may still be experiencing as adults. Our sense of self-worth was largely set during our upbringing. As adults, we can recognize that we are now responsible for healing ourselves from unhealthy views and patterns that we inherited. Each of our journeys towards healing and wholeness is going to be unique. What is important is that we recognize the need healing for ourselves. That we need healing for ourselves as much as possible so that we can be the best possible us that we were always meant to be. The second card that I have here for you is dance. And let me say this also. A great healing tool that I have posted on my channel are the healing from narcissistic abuse, the healing from trauma subliminals. They're very, very powerful tools because I have put in affirmations that will help encourage and increase feelings of self-love, self-worth, and allow you to release the difficult emotions and beliefs that may have been developed or patterns that may have developed from toxic relationships. So it's a very, very excellent resource to use. It has a lot of wonderful, wonderful affirmations to help you through this type of situation. So I definitely recommend listening to my healing from trauma and healing from abuse subliminals. In case you are new to my channel, I am a certified master hypnotist as well as a psychologist, and I've been a counselor for many years. I've had a career in therapy and counseling. So I know how to work with the subconscious mind in order to switch the thoughts and to reprogram thoughts and beliefs in order to heal and move forward from the past. Okay, so again, please check those out. So the next card that I have here for you is dance. Change is not possible without movement, and movement is everywhere in the universe. You're invited to join in the dance. So this is one thing that you can do during the month of November that can help change up this energy. It says that this card is an invitation to break out of physical or mental rigidity. Dancing moves our energy. With intention, movement can help us overcome our creative, mental, and emotional blocks. Dancing gets our hearts pumping, our blood racing, and forces us to breathe more deeply. This movement will positively impact our mood and mental state, thereby freeing up our thought processes to see things in a new light. All that is needed is music, and if you're shy, perhaps a locked door. This card also invites you to play more with the people, the environment, and the energies around you. Dancing with another requires having faith in the other. It is getting to know them, anticipating their next moves, and supporting them if you're inclined, letting the other read your intentions and support you too. Going forth to dance with your world in this way, with awareness that everything is a collaborative effort, connects us to the wider dance. If we step outside our comfort zones with the faith that we will attract the people and support that we need, then that is what we will get. So go ahead and just dance. Alrighty, so those are the messages that I have for you, my lovely Aries friends. I hope I was able to provide you with some useful guidance during the month of November, and I wish you the best of luck in all of your endeavors. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, please visit my website at powerlifehypnosis.com. Please thumbs up and like this video if the messages resonate. Please comment, please share. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. I wish you the best of luck once again, and I will see you all here again very, very soon. And please don't forget to check out those subliminals. I promise you they will help you during this time. Alrighty, thank you so much. Bye, Aries.